What if I told you everything that you think about time management is wrong? Most entrepreneurs and business leaders are wasting their time because they're stuck in the weeds of their business, doing the task that they shouldn't be doing. If this sounds familiar to you, then this video is for you today. Let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like you're working more and accomplishing less with all the modern technology that we have at our fingertips? Guess what? You're not alone. As entrepreneurs and business leaders, it's real easy to get bogged down in those daily tasks and activities that pull you away from the big picture strategy that you're going after. You see, the problem is most of us don't know when to stop. I know you're a grinder. You want to be successful. You got a lot of responsibilities. Maybe you can't find good help. Maybe you feel like you got to do it all because you want it done right. Here's a kicker for you. Most people don't value their time enough to buy it back. Hey, I'm Miles Threat. Thank you for joining me for Legacy Leaders Lounge today. I've spent over 15 years helping leaders just like you develop processes to streamline their businesses and free up in their time. In this video today, I want to show you how to build systems and processes that will allow you to buy back your time so you can focus on what really matters. Whether you're trying to grow your business, spend more time with your family, or simply enjoy doing the things that you love. I'm going to let you in a little secret about buying back your time. And it's all about building systems in your business and life. You see, those systems you're going to build, they're going to become your secret weapon. So they're going to allow you to build your business or maybe your nonprofit so that it'll run smoothly for you without having to micromanage everything. And the nice thing about building a good system in your business or your nonprofit, it's going to help you solve problems quicker because it's going to help you identify where the problem is at. Because when you build a good system, you're going to figure out pretty quickly where the bottleneck is. I can also give you another very important secret here. If you're trying to accomplish a lot, the reality is you probably have a lot of fires you're having to put out in your business or your nonprofit. And a lot of times that's part of the journey. That's part of the process. But if you constantly hadn't put out the same fire, then that tells you got a big problem. And if you hadn't built a system around that, where that fire is coming from, I can tell you right now, that is the first thing you need to do to help you put out that fire, is build a system in place for that. And then if that fire continues, you're going to be able to identify a lot quicker what is it in that system or process you build around that you need to change right now so you can eliminate that fire from happening in your business or your nonprofit right now. There's one key principle that I want to share with you that comes from Dan Martel in his book, Buy Back Your Time. And I like to borrow good ideas from other people and apply them to my work and my life. And one of the principles that Dan Martel talks about in his book is delegate to elevate. See, when you delegate tasks and responsibilities, you're buying back your time to allow you to work on higher level tasks and responsibilities that really only you should be doing right now. And the trick is to make sure that process is foolproof. You see, in my experience in working in manufacturing and operation space, we would implement systems where even the smallest tasks were repeatable and scalable. It allowed us to grow without sacrificing our quality. We would look at a process and see how we could eliminate any wasted time, effort, to streamline that process to make it go as smooth as possible, to allow that individual to complete it, meeting the quality and efficiency standards we had set in place. It might mean as simple as moving items and making them more conveniently located so people could reach them. And if we found out in the process that one item was used more often than the other, we made it more convenient to reach that item. Now, if you're wanting to delegate responsibilities to other people, you've got to establish processes for them. It could be as simple as a checklist. Pilots use them all the time. Every takeoff, every landing, they have a checklist that they follow, and they use it every single time. Even in my own work, I have repeatable tasks that I do on a daily basis, and a lot of those repeatable tasks, I still have them on my calendar. They're things that I can only do, but I've got them on there. They're part of my checklist of the day. I can't let them go. Even though I do them all the time, they're still written down for me to make sure I get those things done. And what are some of those tasks that you are doing right now that you can delegate to someone else? And maybe you're saying, Miles, I don't have anyone else. It's just me. If you're that solopreneur right now and it is just you, I bet you there are some things that you could delegate to someone else. And I imagine that if you took a good evaluation of your time and how you're spending it and how much your time costs, I bet you could find someone on Fiverr or Upwork that you could pay do it for you at a cheaper rate, and you can do something to higher value for yourself right now. So if you're that solopreneur and you're saying, well, I can't delegate to elevate, I want you to reevaluate that and look at what are those tasks right now that you could go hire someone else to do for you to allow yourself to work on that bigger project, that bigger goal you have, so that you can scale and grow your business right now. If I could go back in time, this one tool I'm about to share with you right now, I would have implemented it in the early stages of launching and running my nonprofit work. That tool and resource is batching your tasks and time blocking. I wish I'd have known about this earlier in my career. I would have saved myself tons of time working on a variety of different projects. I don't know if you've ever heard about task batching or time blocking. It's very simple. First, you need to block out time spaces on your calendar where you do your best work. Figure out where those times are. And inside of those times, that's where you start batching those tasks, those high priority tasks that you need to get done. One of the things that I do on a regular basis is I have focused work hours that are always blocked off on my calendar. Now, not every day of the week is the same. I prefer that focus time to be earlier in the morning, not really late in the afternoon. There are some days it doesn't happen that way and it is later in the afternoon. It's after lunchtime when that happens. But it's during those hours that I allow myself to focus on the big tasks that I need to get taken care of. And then when I'm doing that, I batch those things together. It could be as simple as planning my social media. And then I batch build all of my content for the week. And it depends on the day. That can be a 2 or 4 hour block of time. And a lot of times I can get in a groove and I could stay focused for 2 hours and not have to have a break if I'm in the flow of it. And there are other times, I'm going to have to take some breaks. It doesn't normally happen when I can consistently work straight 4 hours without taking a break. But I will batch build all my content out. And as I batch build it out, I'm scheduling that stuff. I'm scheduling when it's going to go out, across what platforms, and taking advantage of the resources that I have access to use that during that time frame. But it happens first by me blocking it out on my calendar. And then I do those tasks from there. What does your calendar look like? What are you blocking out on your time? Another secret I want to share with you related to this is if you've got a big project planned, then you need to back plan that project. When do you plan to have it done by? Whatever that date is, then you need to work backwards from there and plan out your schedule along the way of how you're going to get to that goal that you have for that big project. And it might be 6 months down the road. But 6 months from now, this is where you want to be. This is what it's going to look like. Then you build it out from there to where you are today. So you have a full plan in place that you can use to reach that goal that you have for your business or your nonprofit or your work right now. You see, if you do that and you create those blocks of time as you work towards it, you're going to be able to get more done in less time because you're not going to be switching up and doing a variety of different things and losing track of what you're doing and forgetting about what you're doing. And you're going to have focused time to think, plan, work on it, and get it done. And if you're one of those people that are struggling to focus, then your priority needs to be blocking it out on your schedule and giving yourself that time, because that's going to allow you to do that value-added work that's going to help you grow and scale. So the challenge for you today is start time blocking and batch building out your task. This one might shock you right here, but stop trying to do every damn thing. That's right, you can't do it all. I believe in hustling and grinding like anybody else, but that mentality of doing everything yourself is overrated. You see, those leaders who delegate and build systems outperform those who think being busy equals success. Now, if you're super busy, are you being busy for busy's sake, to making it look like you're doing something? If you're not accomplishing anything by being busy, busy, then you've got a problem. And you need to reevaluate your priorities, and you need to learn to let some shit go and delegate it to someone else so that you can work on higher things that are more important. And if you've got that mentality that you're the only one that can do it and it's got to be done by you, you're going to become your own roadblock. There may be a few tasks out there that can only be done by you, but I bet you're being busy doing things that you could pay someone else to do for you and give you time to work on higher, more value-added work that will help you reach your goals faster. This next trick is going to save you hours and help you stand out. If you noticed today, I hope you like this shirt. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And if you want to stand out more, I've got a link below for Obnoxious Golf for you to stand out on the golf course or stand out in the office or around town with these wonderful, comfortable polos. Check out the link below so you'll stand out. And this tip is going to help you stand out as well. And that tip is either automate or outsource your personal tasks. Do an evaluation of your life right now. How much time are you spending doing personal tasks around the house? Back in the day, I was a DIYer. I was doing it myself, mowing my lawn myself, doing those things around the house, cleaning the house myself, doing all that stuff to save money. So I was afraid to pay somebody else to do it. In the early days, I really probably didn't have the money to do it. Or at least I thought I didn't have the money to do it. That's the reality. I thought I didn't have money. And you're probably thinking the same thing right now. I don't change my oil no more. I don't mow my grass no more. I pay people to take care of that for me. You see, if you go figure out how much you're spending your time on personal stuff that you could pay somebody else. We're in the world of DoorDash and Instacart. I very seldom go to the grocery store and buy my own groceries anymore. I do it all online. I do those things to buy back my time so I can have time to work on bigger things. I don't know where you're at in your business right now, but have you considered getting a virtual assistant for yourself? Have you considered paying someone to clean your house? Have you considered giving up some of those DIY projects that you're always doing? Maybe you need to buy a meal prep service and have it delivered to your home so you're not spending time in the kitchen. And maybe it's things in your life that you hate doing. And I can understand if something like that gives you joy and a sense of accomplishment, maybe you can keep doing some of it. But the challenge is for you to evaluate how much is that costing you to spend your time doing it as opposed to paying someone else to do it. And then if you did that, how can you use that time to accomplish bigger and greater things for yourself and for your business or for your nonprofit right now? You see, if you're willing to really buy back your time and automate it or outsource it, then reinvest your time for yourself on higher things that bring more value to your life. And the final thing I want to point out to you, because we've talked about the delegation part, we've talked about the automation part, we've talked about outsourcing it. The final thing is, can you just delete it? Whatever that thing is consuming your time right now, can you remove it completely from your life? Is there a task that you're doing right now on a regular basis that's eating up your time and you can't delegate it, you can't outsource it, you can't automate it, but can you delete it? And there again is something that for you to evaluate your time and look and say, what is it in my schedule right now that I can just delete? How many wasted meetings are you going to that are killing your time and killing your progress? I've worked in the corporate world. I know how they like to schedule meetings, and those meetings are a waste of time. Find a way to get out of them. Put something else on your schedule. Go back and use that time blocking to block your time out so you can't be scheduled for these useless meetings. If that meeting ain't going to add value to you and your work, just ignore it. Don't go. See what happens. If you implement these things, you will be surprised at the mental energy alone that you're going to save and how that's going to free you up to be more creative. So we've covered a lot about how we can delegate, automate, outsource, delete, time block to improve our time management. Now I'm going to give you the 4 steps to building a robust system or process. Now, if you really want to streamline and be able to buy back your time, because building these systems and processes is going to really help you do that, especially as you delegate, even as you outsource, even as you automate it. These 4 steps are going to help you build high quality, efficient systems. And the first step is you got to document everything. Document every step along the way. You can write it down. You can videotape it. You can create checklists. You can create a process flow, a flow chart, whatever it might be that will help you, but document everything. Then as you document everything, you need to identify the bottlenecks. Where are the hiccups coming along the way? And if you document it and you keeping track of it and you're monitoring it, you're watching how that process goes, it will help you see pretty clearly where the bottlenecks are. Then once you've identified where the bottlenecks are, you need to invest in some problem-solving tools and some training to help you solve those problems with that bottleneck. And then the final step is test and refine your system. So as I've built processes, systems in my work, and as I've documented it and written out the steps and identified where the bottlenecks were and eliminated them, whether it was through some problem-solving tools or whether it was through training, then I tested it. And the best way to test it was to have someone come in and try to do it by following either the written or the video. A lot of times I like to include both. I've been working with a manufacturing company, helping them build better processes, build better training systems. And when I do that with them, I do it both with video and in writing so that they have both that they can follow. When I built that process and put those steps in there, and then I test it with someone who's never done it before, I find out real quickly what steps I may have left out. Because I promise you that if you're the person that does it on a daily basis, you're probably very good at it. And if you're very good at it, you're going to skip some vital steps when you put someone new that's never done it before. And you're going to find out really quickly what you left out. So if you document it, you identify the bottlenecks, you solve those problems, you're training around it, then as you test it, you're going to find real quick what changes you're going to need to make so that someone else can actually follow that process and do it on a regular basis. Now that once you put that process in place, and that person that you assign that task to, as they do it, if they start having certain problems or another bottleneck comes up, it's going to allow you to refine that process even further, to build that system out, to streamline it even more so that they can be more efficient and you can be more productive. And one very key thing for you to keep in mind as you do this is if you want to build quality into that process, whatever that workflow is, you need to identify in that documentation process what are those key quality points that you want to make sure that are always built into that system or process, so those people that you delegate it to will produce the same level of work that you have been doing or that you're looking for, and make it very clear to them what it is, what it should look like. Here's the time management best practice that's going to instantly help you improve. I don't know if you ever heard of the Pareto principle or 80-20 rule. It's where 20% of your tasks generate 80% of your results. What I want you to do is look at all your tasks and what's the top 20%? What's the top 20% that are getting you the most results right now? And this is something you can apply in your business and look at your clients as well who are in the top 20%. They are getting you 80% of your business or 80% of your results. And what I want you to do is focus on those most important, the top 20%. They become your focus. They become your priority in your work. They're the ones that give you the most impact, produce the greatest results for you. Those become your priority. And then as you've identified those, now I want you to apply the Eisenhower matrix to them, right? This is going to help you prioritize all your tasks. You're going to have your urgent and important tasks, the tasks that got to be done immediately. That's going to help you organize your day and know, hey, if I got that focused work, I got to sit down, I got to take care of these things. They're the urgent, they're the must do, they're important, they got to be done today. Then you have the important but not urgent. They're the tasks you schedule for later. Next, you have the urgent but not important. Those are tasks you delegate. And finally, not urgent, not important. Those are ones you either eliminate or minimize. You know, earlier I said automate, delegate, outsource, and delete. If you've got tasks that fall on that, not urgent, not important, if you can eliminate them, don't even worry about minimizing them. Eliminate those things from your life, in your work. The 80-20 rule is going to help you identify your most important tasks or priorities. And Eisenhower principles will help you decide when to do them, when to delegate them, or just delete them altogether. See, together, when you apply these, they're going to allow you to focus on what really matters for your future success. The secret to buying back your time is building systems that allow you to focus on those things that really matter. See, the goal is not just to save time. The goal is to create freedom. And I don't know about you, but I'd love to have more freedom. If you're ready to start wasting your time and start buying some of it back, click the link below and sign up for your free discovery call. And together, we'll map out how you can build a system that will set you free. I'm Miles Threat. Thank you for joining me today for Legacy Leaders Lounge. Do me a favor, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon so you can catch more episodes to help you build that lasting legacy and create more freedom for yourself.